Greetings, Earthlings.
It's Tuesday, 11th of May.
The time is 1900 hours.
And you're tuned into
The 7 o'clock show. The 7 o'clock show is brought to you by HBTV and streamed live all this week at 7 p.m. on the internet.
That's right, and we'll be bringing you the latest talent as well as games and movie reviews.
And not forgetting, giving you the lowdown on the best places to go for a night out, suggestions of things you can do from the comfort of your own home.
My name's Lauren Berslam.
And I'm Steve Dobson.
Here's what's coming up on today's show.
It's Close Encounters of the Musical Kind with John Copley and the Bell Collective.
In Seven Thrilled, we send roving reporter Mike Crisp on an intergalactical mission to Laser Quest.
In Seven Chilled, enter a world of elves, dwarves, orcs, and most importantly, Warcraft, as we review the cult game World of Warcraft.
In Take 7, the Usher himself, Jamie Kellock, reviews the latest comic book, tear movie, Iron Man 2.
And travelling back to 1979 in the classic film debate, Jed Salisbury and Emma Holmes discuss Alien.
And Alex Hughes is with us, will be providing us a what-on guide to this week's sci-fi and fantasy TV. But first up, we are joined by a local band that's been tearing up the local scene. It's John Copley and from the John Copley and Bell Collective.
So John, nice of you to join us today.
All right. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Really good.
Who was it that put the John Copley and the Bell Collective group together?
Well, initially it was me, because I've been a solo artist around the city for 5-6 years. So what I did was I've been going to the Adelphi on a Monday night a lot and taking people, not stealing people, but taking people from other bands and sort of adapting them to what I'm doing. But now it's turned into more of a band than me featuring people, which is what I always wanted. So basically it's more of Bell Collective now, not John Copley and the Bell Collective.
You're just the lead singer of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get away from anyway, and just trying to have it as a band now.
So what type of style of music is it that you do?
Well, we'd sort of call it modern folk at the moment.
Right.
So it's sort of taking old English folk
Yeah.
and giving it a sort of modern twist
A bit more of a funky twist.
that people can get into at the moment.
Who would you say that you are inspired by?
I'd say in sort of a bit ago, Damien Rice and Jeff Buckley, people like that.
Right.
But it's hard not to draw comparisons with people like Mumford & Sons
Yeah.
at the moment, and even a band from America called the Avett Brothers.
Okay.
Is there any other music that you're interested in at all, John? And
I'm into a lot of different music. I'm into reggae. I like a lot of
reggae
the old,
myself,
a lot of the old reggae stuff, and then I like dance music as well and stuff like that. But I've always played acoustic, and now I've adapted to more sort of modern folk.
So what are the instruments that you've actually got in the band? Because it sounds quite
Yeah,
a mixture.
everybody, quite a few of the people in the band didn't play the instruments that they're playing for me at the moment. I've got a guy called Tim who plays the bass guitar. He's a guitarist, but we've put him on bass, and he sings backing vocals as well. And then we've also got a guitar player who plays the banjo, so we've adapted that, but she also plays the guitar as well. And then we've got a girl who plays the saxophone who we've adapted to piano.
So that's quite a big family of you then.
Yeah. It can be more as well when there's people around.
are you tempted to get any steel drums in there?
That's
what I want to know.
but that would be good, but not as yet. No.
Yeah. Have you had any memorable gigs or anything that crazy happened on set?
We had a good one last year at the Freedom Festival on Hull Marina, where we played with the likes of Peter Andre and people like that, which was interesting. We did that on the Sesh stage, which is at Linnet and Lark on a Tuesday. And then about this time last year, we supported Mumford & Sons before they got as big as they are now at the Adelphi Club as well.
Were you really happy to be on with your idols?
Well, yeah, at that point I'd already seen them a year previous to that in Newcastle, so it was nice to get to support him. That was a really good gig.
So you mentioned Peter Andre, so who would you most like to play with that's famous?
If it could be anyone now, I'd love to play alongside Laura Marling well, obviously he's dead, but Jeff Buckley would have been an ideal thing just to watch him when he was alive, because obviously I missed that, but that would be amazing.
Have you got any record deals in the pipeline? That's what the audience want to know.
Well, at the moment we're sending things away, so it's really up to them, but we're just sort of sending things to whoever we can, and hopefully someone will pick up on it and like what we do.
Yeah, so we've gathered that your album sounds a bit folky. Is there any other genre it could be included with?
That's the thing at the moment. It is sort of folky, but we've sort of took a rock and roll sort of thing at the moment. We're writing some songs which are a bit more sort of 60s influenced.
Cool.
So if we was to sum it up, hopefully it's going to turn into sort of rock and roll folk sort of thing.
Well,
So what have you got to promote for us today?
And my single, When I Come Home, which should be around next month sometime, should be out. So that should
That
be
is
good.
wonderful. I am so pleased for you,
Thank you.
John. So, well, anyway, thanks,
Thank
John,
you.
for coming in.
That's all right.
Now here is your brilliant new video for When I Come Home. Right, can we all get your phone?
I wish you were here when I came home. Don't you, darling, don't you feel alone? Don't you, darling, don't you feel alone? I wish you were more than you could know. I wish you were more than I could show. But I wish you were here when I wish you were here when I wish you were here when I came home. I could be so much more. Could be what you've been looking for. I could be so much more. Could be what you've been looking for.
So, Lauren, what did you think of John Copley and the Bell Collective?
oh, the sound is they're really good. I went to see him at Friday Lamp. They were supported by Storm the Banquet.
They're on tomorrow's show, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, would
There
you
was-
recommend them?
Oh, yeah, definitely the race.
Yeah.
What did you do on the weekend then? Friday?
I met up with friends and I went to the Abbey pub in Hull. I played pool and I also played a little bit of darts. They're taking on pool membership to join the team.
Oh, I can join.
No, you'd be suited on a Sunday to bingo, I'm afraid.
Why? I can put a bit of cube to ball. Now, if you're in the mood for something a little different from the typical night at the pub or a gig, we have the perfect thing for you in our feature for what's on tonight's night out. It's Seven Thrilled.
Now, for all young and old gentlemen, Now, for all young and old Jedis out there, in honour of sci-fi and fantasy theme on tonight's show, we sent our very own Mike Crisp to battle aliens, cyborgs and superhumans at Laser Quest. Here's how he got on.
Hi, I'm Mike Crisp, Galaxy Defender and roaming reporter for the 7 o'clock show. I'm here at Laser Quest on George Street, where you can live out all of your sci-fi adventures. So, what kind of people usually come into Laser Quest?
Well, we get all kinds of people in Laser Quest. We do a lot of kids parties, obviously. We do student nights, we do corporate events. Got people of all ages from all walks of life.
So what does a game of Laser Quest actually involve then?
Well, it involves go upstairs, putting on one of the packs as you're wearing, and either split up into teams or individually, and go around the arena upstairs and shoot each other. And at the end of the game, you get a scorecard.
Are they quite accurate then, these? Like, if you get shot, is it like you have to be quite accurate with your shot, or...?
No, it's quite big sensory areas, as they all the area here, and the shoulders and on the back as well.
So I guess now I better just go and see what it's like for myself.
We do a lot of kids parties that we've got going on constantly. Student nights every Tuesday night. Say corporate events. We've got companies, a couple of companies coming in, shooting the boss, that sort of thing.
I've just had the most amazing time at Laser Quest. So now I'm just going to chill out in the cafe, have some refreshments. Oh, and guess what? I won.
And now back from the mothership, it's our very own Mike Crisp.
Hi, Mike. How was it at Laser Quest?
Well, first of all, thanks for keeping the seat warm for me, Master Jedi. But it was really good, yeah. I really enjoyed it.
What did you do at Laser Quest? I really want to know.
Well, first of all, I put some mega body armour on, got a big laser gun, and played a game of Laser Quest.
All right.
So what's it involve? What do you do? Just run around shooting things?
Well, that's a basic idea, yeah, but there's a lot of like strategy to it. You've got to hide behind all the obstacles, you've got to aim for certain parts of the opponent's bodies and generally shoot them more times than they shoot you.
So you're just basically shooting each other. So I guess it's in the name lasers, so you're shooting lasers?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not little BB gun things?
No, they're actual lasers. You actually got to aim for the actual body parts and connect the laser to them.
So your laser don't hurt you or anything?
Oh, no,
I'd
no.
be scared of that.
Oh no, it's fine. But it might hurt you.
Thanks.
So was it fun then, yeah? You definitely recommend it?
I'm not going to lie to you, it was absolutely unbelievable. I absolutely loved it. I'd recommend it to absolutely anybody.
So even me? So even I could go do it?
Well, maybe you.
So you definitely recommend it. What age range would you say it was for?
Well, I'd say it's from any age. I'd say from about 8 up to any age, really. It's for anyone who's like sci-fi and that whole atmosphere. It's brilliant for anybody.
Are you a sci-fi man yourself? Are you interested in sci-fi? What's your favourite film?
I absolutely love Star Wars.
Yeah?
I even want a lightsaber of my own one day.
Really?
But I can always hope, eh?
So, could you go dressed up as Star Trek and have a night at Laser Quest all dressed up, fancy dresses?
Yeah, definitely. But as long as you can put your body pack on with your armour, then you can wear whatever you want.
Cool.
Even a Darth Vader helmet.
What's your favourite part of Star Wars, anyway, on the sci-fi theme for us all?
Oh, it's got to be all the lightsaber fights, really. All the gun fights, which fits in brilliant with Laser Quest. I feel like I'm reenacting my own.
Really? Is that going with your ballet?
Oh, it's it's like keeps me flexible. My ballet.
I suppose your karate fitted in with the lasers.
Yeah,
So dodging.
Helps me with my twirls as well for ballet.
With your fighting techniques and that. Now, Mike, we know you can always be trusted to tell us what's on for a night out, but do you ever feel like a night in?
Sometimes, just like to sit around on the computer and everything, really. But I'm more of a going out person myself, personally.
Well, Mike, if you ever do feel like to stay in Escape into a fantasy world battling elves and trolls, we have just the thing for you in Seven Chilled.
Oh, tremendous.
Seven Chilled is a part of the show where we suggest things for you to do that don't require paying for taxis or leaving your house at all. In fact, you could probably do it in your own pants.
Oh, God, dear, I don't think I'd like to see that.
Calm down, Lauren. Tonight's Seven Chilled features a review of the cult game World of Warcraft.
Developed by Blizzard Entertainment, first released in 1994 as Warcraft, Orcs and Humans on the 10th anniversary of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, as we know it, was released on November 23rd, 2004, and it's still going strong with over 11.5 million monthly subscriptions. Players control a character or avatar within a realm, which is essentially their server, exploring the fantasy landscape in either third or first person viewing, fighting monsters and completing various quests and attempt to progress, develop and upgrade their chosen character. Players can interact with non-players, characters controlled by the game or other online players. Let's start with the downside. To fully embrace and experience World of Warcraft, it is too time consuming, takes far too long to familiarise yourself with its features and nuances, which prior to this results in a significant lack of enjoyment. This possibly due to the role-playing game being such a niche genre. On the other hand, it has revolutionised the genre, combining gaming and social networking, which eventually allows for an immense and interactive experience. The detailed customization and level up system provides players with a sense of achievement. The latest World of Warcraft bundle is now available and starts at a recommended retail price of £18.49. So Steve, come on, are you a fan of roleplay?
Lauren, I'm flattered, but...
Steve, in your dreams.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Well, you hardly know Robert Downey Jr., are you?
I can't help but shake the feeling that this is somehow set up to be a link for our next feature.
Trust in your instinct, Steve. Here's take 7.
In take 7, the usher himself, aka Jamie Kelwick, reviews the latest film releases, and I'm sure Lauren will be pleased to know tonight's edition reviews Iron Man 2. Here's Jamie's lowdown with it.
Welcome to Take 7. Today we're looking at the summer's first big release, which is Iron Man 2, the sequel to the ultra-successful Iron Man, of course.
If you can make God bleed, people will cease to believe in him.
This one takes place 6 months after the end of the last film, where Tony Stark declared he was Iron Man to the world. Of course, this brings out new enemies for him to fight. And the action sequences are absolutely superb. We've got Robert Downey Jr. back on really, really great form.
Agreed.
Great action, great suspense all the way through it. Some fantastic moments of comedy as well. And I'd give it a big 4 stars.
Wow, that looks amazing. I'll be definitely going to see that, Steve.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Scarlett Johansson. I think I'll come with you.
Of course, there are more films that are just stars in them, and nobody knows that more than Jed Salisbury and Emma Holmes.
Welcome to the show, guys. Tonight your film to analyse and review is the classic Alien.
So, guys, convince us that does Alien deserve the status as it is?
Hi, I'm Emma Holmes. This is Jed Salisbury here. We're here to talk to you about the science fiction film Alien. And before we start that, what's your favourite science fiction film, Jed?
I'm with the lads at Star Wars, purely for Princess Leia.
Right, OK, obvious. Maybe.
How about yours?
Mine's another Ridley Scott one, that's Blade Runner. But tonight,
Blade Runner.
On to Alien. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
The synopsis of Alien is the crew are travelling back to Earth after dropping off a cargo. They're in a spaceship and what happens is they get a distress call, so they go check it out, and during that, one of them is attacked and brings an alien on board their own spaceship, and then they are, well, obviously, I won't give away the rest of the plot.
And what did you think of it?
It was boring. It really was. Like, the first 40 minutes of the film, absolutely nothing happens, and then something happens, and then it's boring again.
Really, nothing happened?
Nothing happened.
I thought it was a great film of the science fiction genre, because people now think that science fiction is just about lots of action that just happens to be set in space, but it's actually about a lot more than that. And far from it being boring, there's actually lots going on internally. The production design's brilliant, and it's about one of the central questions of science, which is, for example, do we investigate alien life forms or new technologies, new knowledge, or do we just hide ourselves away like Ripley does in it for fear?
You said it's all about investigation. To be honest, sci-fi films, I just want to see explosions in space. That's what I want, and nothing happens. Well, even when the alien attack, it's like a really bad horror movie set on a spaceship.
Really?
It's slow and dull, and nothing happens.
So in which way was it like a horror film then? Because I think there was parallels with horror films. I think you've picked up on something interesting in that.
I think the way the alien picks them off one by one, it's very like a slasher movie, like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
But it's slow paced. I think it has no credit as a horror film because, one, it's not scary, and two, I feel no suspense, or three, there's no relation to the characters. I don't feel connected to the characters.
That's an interesting point, because we don't find out the characters' names probably till about 30 minutes in. They're just these people on a spaceship, but you do get, because of that, you get a sense of the boredom. But going back to your sort of slasher film, I think this is a key thing about Ripley, is she is the person who does not want to let John Hurt's character back on the ship. She wants him to be quarantined. And as all good zombie film fans know, you do not let the person who's infected back on the ship. And that's where the suspense comes from, what's going to happen in that.
You say suspense. Again, bringing that word back in, boredom. It's,
Jed.
the only thing you can honestly take away from that movie, and that's to all guys, is one, don't get pregnant because it will come out your stomach.
Well, it's quite interesting what you've said about getting pregnant, because there's a lot about motherhood in the film. I don't know whether you've picked up on that or not, Jed, waiting for your explosions and your aliens to get more scary. But the actual comm system that they speak to is called Mother. Ripley becomes like a mother film, and we see sort of the aliens, the eggs hatching, and it's all about survival and people evolving. And if you noticed, you said the alien wasn't very scary at first. I would agree with you. It was like a little squid. But it evolves, and it becomes this protective thing that, as Ian Holmes' scientist character says, he admires, because it just wants to evolve and survive, and it's beautiful in its simplicity.
It's not that. It may be that I'm used to the big CGI monsters, but the alien generally didn't do any fear in me. Like it was like sci-fi horror. There was no horror elements. I saw the alien and was like, no, look at him. It wasn't scary. I wanted horror.
Even though it had two lots of jaws and it was filmed in really slow motion, its jaws dripping and oozing.
It was just
and
unbelievable.
And then another set of jaws on top of that. You weren't scared?
People bite. It's no big deal getting a bite now and again.
Really?
Yeah, the bite. But the alien, the Ripley's character, who was played by Sigourney Weaver, I feel emotion at the last 5 minutes of the film when she's generally on the little spaceship by herself. Other than that, no emotion, no connection to the characters. I'm going to give the film like a 2 stars.
2 stars?
2 stars.
Jed, I think you should maybe hang on for Aliens, should I say, not Alien 2, which is because I think you may enjoy that more. The motherhood theme continues. There's more going on, but it's still brilliant.
I'm not going to wait around. I'm done with Aliens, and I'm giving it a thumbs down.
I'm giving it a big thumbs up.
Thanks for that, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow for another debate. But this time for the Farley Brothers hit rom-com, There's Something About Mary.
Yes, and if you want to voice your opinion on Alien, or There's Something About Mary, or anything that was featured on tonight's show, search for us on Facebook, The 7 O'Clock Show, and write on our wall.
Let us know what you think of the show and help us to spread the word. There you will find links to our sponsors, Solo Hair Group and the Abbey Pub.
But for now, it's back to the show.
These days, there are so many television channels, we are spoilt for choice.
And with television on demand, people are able to watch programmes in their own time.
Most families don't sit around and watch the television together how they used to, and many people would say that this is because there is nothing on.
Well, we're joined by Alex Hughes tonight for the guide of sci-fi and fantasy for this week.
Alex, welcome to the show. What shows get your stamp of approval?
Well, this week it's Ashes to Ashes, Lost, and the ever-popular Doctor Who, really.
Cool.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Ashes to Ashes and start us off?
Well, Ashes to Ashes, probably know this, it's kind of a follow-on to the series Life on Mars. It's quite similar to Life on Mars, in my opinion. It does have a lot of the same things. It's someone who's been in an accident and woken up in the 70s, and they've basically they're trying to find out who they are, what's happened to them, and joined the local police force and basically solving crimes in the past. In Ashes to Ashes, it's a woman who is trying to find out what happened to the man who was sent back in time in Life on Mars. As I say, it's quite similar to Life on Mars, but it's still quite a good show in its own right.
Do you know what's going to happen this week on it?
Well, there's going to be some form of disturbance, an illegal drinking club, which is originally just put away as just drunken fighting until a dead body's found. And the two of the characters have to go into a murder investigation, which leads on to more important things like illegal immigration and terrorism.
So can I ask what's coming up on Lost End this week, or what about else? What's going on with it? What do you think?
Well, Lost is going through its final episode yet again. Well, last two episodes, as I said at the end of the last series, and probably the series before that. On the island, off the island, who knows what's going to happen. They've got 2 episodes now until the finale, and the next episode is a flashback episode into the history of the island 1,000 years ago, and it's mainly focusing around their messiah, Jacob, and the man in black, who was Jacob's nemesis, and how they came about and how the island came about, really. So.
Alex, I've got to cut you off. Thank you for coming in and telling us about Ashes to Ashes and Lost. And that sadly brings us to the end of our second show.
Tune in tomorrow for a show to set your pulse racing. We're joined by Storm the Banquet, who will be showcasing their video for Tip Your Hat.
Sticking on the music front, we go behind the scenes at Purple Worm Records in 7 Thrilled.
Steve learns us something about fine dining on a budget in 7 Chilled.
In Take 7, the usher, Jamie Kelwick, has a run-in with the bounty hunter.
And of course, Jed and Emma will be battling it out again in another classic edition of Movie Debate.
But until then, you can check us out on Facebook. I've been Steve Dobson.
And I will still be Lauren Berslam in tomorrow's edition of
The 7 o'clock show.